Hello everybody. In the in my last presentation, I was talking about GST and input tax credit. GST is an important indirect tax. Before the introduction of GST, there were so many indirect taxes like say Karnataka value added tax, central sales tax, excise duty, service tax, luxury tax, purchase tax. So many individual indirect taxes were there, and compliance of all these laws will be very, very complicated and difficult. That's why a new indirect tax has been introduced on 1st July of 2017. That is nothing but goods and services tax. So there are three things there. One is central goods and services tax, we call that CGST. Then SGST, state goods and services tax. Wherever union territories are there, UTGST, union territory GST, goods and services tax. So CGST and SGST are applicable in the case of intra-state transactions or intra-state supply. For example, seller is also in India, Karnataka, and buyer is also in Karnataka. So that is intra-state sale or supply. On the other hand, if the seller and buyer are of two different states, we call that interstate supply or interstate transaction. Here, IGST is applicable. IGST means integrated goods and services tax. Here, three things are there. One is output tax, other one is input tax, and the next one is net tax. Output tax is on outward supply. You supply the goods to somebody, another dealer or retailer or customer. So there is outward supply of goods, and when you supply, you collect the taxes and you are charging the taxes. They are called that is called output tax. And then when you are supplied the goods by somebody, you are paying the tax on that. So that is called input tax. So there is inward supply of goods. So the tax you are paying against that is called input tax. Output tax, input tax, the difference between the two is nothing but net tax payable. Okay, all these things you have studied in detail in earlier presentations. Now let me go ahead with some more examples of input tax credit. Okay, let me take some problems. So already I solved some problems. This is the continuation of that, so that you will get a better insight as to the input tax credit utilization. Mrs. Srilata, a dealer of Mangalore, submits the following information in relation to manufacture and selling of machine. Compute the net GST payable by Srilata. Srilata is a dealer from Mangalore. This you have to remember in order to find out whether a transaction is intrastate or interstate transaction. Okay, here let us say in this case what you need to calculate is you have to calculate transaction value. Okay, Yes, first, import of raw materials, excluding BCD at 10% and IGST at 5%, excluding. But what you need is value including BCD but excluding IGST. So what you have to do? So you have to include. So 10% BCD should be added to 1,40,000. In other words, 1,40,000 plus 10% of 1,40,000. So that is the value you have to take. Raw materials purchased from Karwar including GST. So actually you need to include BCD, basic customs duty, but you have to exclude GST. Therefore GST should be excluded. How to exclude? When GST is included in this value, it is equal to 100 plus GST of 28%. Therefore it is equal to 128. So what is GST? It is 28. So 5,12,000 should be multiplied by 28 divided by 128. 100 plus 28. Thereby you will get the GST value. So that should be deducted from 5,12,000. Then you will get the value which is to be considered for ascertaining transaction value. Import of technical know-how from Japan, excluding BCD and IGST. So what you need is value including BCD but excluding IGST. Okay, BCD will add here for 2,40,000. So 10% of 2,40,000 is nothing but the value for computing transaction value. Next, raw materials purchased from Mumbai. So it is interstate transaction. So 5% at the rate of 5%. So it is included under transaction value. Subsidy received from NGO, which was directly related to price of the goods. So this is part of transaction value. Penalty levied by Mr. Harsha for delayed payment. This is to be taken for computation of transaction value, but after computing cost of supply. Subsidy received from central government which directly linked to the price of the output. So this is exempt, therefore it should not be part of transaction value. Additional incentives paid to the employees of sales department necessarily should be included in the transaction value. Similarly, warranty charges, manufacturing expenses are also to be included under the transaction value. Service received from a registered dealer to manufacture a machinery, rate of GST applicable is 18%, is also to be taken in order to calculate transaction value. Service received from specialists from Pune, which are exempted. Okay, for transaction calculating transact value, you have to include this 30,000, even though that is exempt. Okay. Purchase raw material which are charged at zero rate. Okay, this is also part of transaction value. Along with the machine, she supplied 3 accessories worth ₹75,000 in total, which are naturally bundled along with the machine. GST rate of the 3 products is 5%, 12% and 28% respectively. Sri Lata sold the machine to Ms. Swetha, registered dealer in Dharwad, at a profit of 15% on selling price of the machine, and the rate of GST on such sale is 18%. So here it is mentioned 3 accessories were also supplied, but they are naturally bundled along with the machine. So this type of supply is called a composite supply. So composite supply means the items supplied here, a goods supplied here, are related and naturally bundled. For example, when a laptop is supplied, Carry bag is also supplied along with that. That they are very closely related to each other. Similarly, when machinery is supplied, installation is also carried out. They are related. So like that, they are naturally bundled, and we call such supply as composite supply. And in this case, GST rate is to be taken, which is applicable to primary supply or principal supply. Here principal supply is machinery, and the rate applicable to that is 18%. So we are not to take 5%, 12%, 28%. Rather, we have to take the percentage which is applicable to principal supply. Rate of principal supply is 18%. Therefore, 18% should be taken. If it is mixed supply, means the goods are not naturally bundled, they are not related, there could be separate supply. So their highest rate is to be taken. But here they are related and naturally bundled, and it is called composite tax. And the rate to be chosen is the rate applicable to principal supply. In our case, it is 18%. Okay, let us look at the computation of transaction value. Already explained that, but still let us have a quick glance. Import of raw materials. It is not inclusive of BCD. Now we have to include that. So 1,40,000 into 10%, so 14,000. So to put together, it is 1,54,000 including BCD. Raw materials purchased from Karwar, 5,12,000. And then that is inclusive of GST. Therefore, GST should be excluded. And this is equal to 128. Of that, what is 28? That you have to calculate. So 5,12,000 into 28 by 128. So you will get 1,12,000. So the residue or remaining amount is 4 lakh. Import of technical know-how from Japan. So 2,40,000. So that is exclusive of BCD, but it should be included in this value in order to calculate transaction value. So 24,000. So 2,40,000 into 10 by I'm sorry, it should be 100, not 110. It should be 100. I'm subject to correction. Please note it is 100. It's wrongly printed there. So it should be 100. Raw materials purchased from Mumbai. So 40,000. Purchase of raw materials which are charged at 0 rate. It should be included. Then subsidy received from an NGO, non-governmental organization, which was directly related to price of the goods, 13,000. Then additional incentives paid to employees of sales department, 3,000. Warranty charges 9,600. Manufacturing expenses 3,800. Services received from a registered dealer to manufacture a machinery. Service received from a specialist from Pune, which are exempted. Subsidy received from central government, which directly linked to the price of the output. This is exempt for computation of transaction value. Therefore, total of all these items, it is 79,400, and this should be added to the previous items in this column. So you will get total cost of production. So first we have to calculate cost of production in the process of computation of transaction value. Then you add profit to that, profit margin. Here you have to be very careful. It's very clearly given here. Mr. Srilata sold the machine to Ms. Shweta, a registered dealer in Dharwad, at a profit of 15% on selling price of the machine. See, here you have arrived at the cost of production. It is not the selling price, it is the cost of production. Now you have to convert that into percentage on cost. Let us take the selling price is 100 and profit is 15. See, 15% on sales. 100 is the selling price, 15 is the profit. So what is the cost then? 100 minus 15 is equal to 85. So if on 85 you make a profit of 15, so that it will become 100. So this 10,37,400, that is cost. So that is equal to 85. So 85 is equal to 10,37,400. 15 means what? So thereby you will arrive at the profit. In other words, you cannot directly apply 15%, 15 by 100 on 10,37,400. This percentage must be converted on cost. And thereby, if you deduct 15 rupees from 100, if the selling price is 100 rupees, 15 rupees the profit, deducted, you will get cost. So 10,37,400, it is equal to 85. Then what is 15? So thereby you have to calculate the profit margin. So you will get 1,83,071. So if you add that to the previous value, you will get cost of material supplied. Then add the penalty here. Penalty should be added here only, not in between. So 529. So total will be 12,21,000. Here there is supply of 3 accessories, the cost of which together is 79,000. As a result, transaction value of supply is 13 lakh. Actually, on this you have to calculate the output tax. And it is very clearly mentioned, these goods are sold to Shweta, and that is intra-state supply. Therefore, CGST and SGSTs are applicable. So the GST rate is 18% here on principal supply, since it is composite supply, and that should be divided into 9% each. That is CGST 9% and SGST 9%. Okay, on 13 lakh, if you apply 9% each, you will get 1,17,000 each. No IGST. As a result, total output tax is 1,17,000 each. Now let's look at the input tax credit. So imported materials at 5%. So IGST is applicable here. 5% of 1,54,000, 7,700. Purchase from Karwar. So intrastate. So IGST 14% each. That means 28% divided by 2. 14%. 14% CGST. 14% SGST. So if you calculate that by applying on 4 lakh, you will get 56,000 each. No IGST. Import of technical know-how. So here it is intra-state transaction. Import from some other country, and therefore IGST is applicable. So 18% of 2,64,000. And the next, purchase from Mumbai interstate. So IGST 5% of 40,000 to 2,000. Raw materials at 0 rate. Since it is 0 rate, you cannot levy any tax there. Service received to manufacture. So it is at the rate of 9%. It is intrastate transaction, therefore 9%, 18% of that 9% is CGST and 9% is SGST. Exempted service received from specialist, it is very clearly mentioned exempted, therefore no tax is being calculated on that, no input tax. Okay. Now if you add up the CGST, SGST and IGST, you find here CGST 57,800, then SGST 57,800 and IGST 57,220. Look at the note here regarding composite supply. Accessories supplied along with the machinery are naturally bundled, hence it falls under composite supply, and the rate of GST applicable is the rate at principal supply. So that is 18%. So that is why you have calculated 18% GST on 13 lakh, and it is intra-state transaction, therefore CGST and SGST. Now let us see the net tax payable. Okay, output tax, as you understood, CGST 1,17,000, SGST 1,17,000, and IGST is input tax credit is 57,800, and 57,220. So if you look at this column, there is no IGST liability, but you have got input tax credit of IGST. Here CGST output taxes are 1,17,000 and 1,17,000. Now before using input tax credit of CGST and SGST against the respective liabilities, first you have to make use of IGST surplus, that you have to exhaust first. IGST input tax must be first utilized towards IGST output tax. If there is no IGST output tax, then the surplus can be utilized towards payment of CGST or SGST in any order and in any proportion. So here what we have done is we have applied it equally, distributed it equally. So 50% of 57,220 it is utilized towards CGST and the remaining 50% towards SGST. There are other situations also. Out of this entire 57,220 could be utilized towards CGST and nothing is utilized towards SGST. That is possible. Or you can first use that against SGST, in which case nothing is available for CGST. Not necessary that you have to utilize equally here to set off. It could be in any ratio, any proportion. But we have utilized it equally. As a result, this 57,220 input tax credit of IGST is exhausted. And remaining CGST payable is 88,390. Now what you have to do is, you have to make use of input tax credit of CGST and IGST, these things, 57,800 and 57,800. So ITC of CGST and ITC of SGST should be utilized. So you use that. As a result, now the remaining amount is 30,590. These are payable, net GST payable in cash. See, GST could be paid in two ways. One is using input tax credit. Next, if there is no input tax credit, then you have to make the payment in cash. So first one is in the electronic credit ledger and the other one is electronic cash ledger. So that's about this problem. We'll move on to the next problem now. Nakshatra Private Limited furnishes the following information on manufacturing goods. Compute net GST payable by Nakshatra Private Limited. Here also you need to calculate transaction cost. So purchases from local market inclusive of GST. So GST must be excluded. So 1,47,000 into 5 by 105. So 100 plus 5. Goods purchased from a unit of special economic zone in Bangalore for rupees 1 lakh. So net of taxes and duties. So BCD is not included here. Basic custom duty is not included here. Therefore, if nothing is mentioned, it is at the rate of 10%. So 10% should be applied on 1 lakh and that should be added, and together value has to be taken for computing transaction value. Then raw materials purchased from a unregistered dealer in Mysore, 20,000. So this should be included in transaction value. But this is called reverse charge. When you purchase from unregistered dealer, the responsibility of paying the taxes will be on the purchaser, not on the seller. Therefore, this is called reverse charge transaction. Okay, how it is considered while computing taxes we'll see, but this is to be included under transaction value. Materials purchased from special economic zone. Okay, even here, yes, that is taxable, and that is to be included in transaction value. Materials purchased within the state from a registered dealer who opted for composition scheme under GST for rupees 3 lakh. So what is this composition scheme? See, in the absence of composition scheme, for different goods, you pay different taxes depending upon the stipulated rates. There may not be a single rate, there might be different rates. But under composition scheme, you are paying a fixed rate on all goods. And this opportunity is available only to the trader or dealer whose turnover does not exceed 1 crore. But now that is good. That has enhanced to 1,50,000 crore, 1.5 crore rather, 1.5 crore. So here, in the case of composition scheme, the seller cannot recover any GST on outward supply. He cannot recover any tax from the buyer. Similarly, he is not entitled to avail input tax credit. That is, input tax credit is on the inward supply. He purchases from unregistered dealer, so that's called inward supply. Whereas you sell it to somebody, that's called outward supply. You cannot collect the output tax. Similarly, you cannot avail the input tax credit. So that's about composition tax. So of course, for computing a transaction value, you have to take 3 lakh. Materials purchased from Japan, including BCD and excluding GST. So including BCD, so the purpose is served. Naturally, you should not include GST; it is excluded. So 1 lakh you have to take. Manufacturing expenses 1 lakh. It's part of transaction value. Profit to a manufacturer, it's given, value is given straight away, that should be added. Then details of sales. So for all sales of goods, GST charged is 18%. But the details of sale are given here. 20% sold to a unit of EOU. EOU in Bangalore. The next one, 30% sold to an unregistered dealer in New Delhi. Then 20% is sold to a registered dealer of Mangalore who opted for composition scheme under GST, and the balance has sold to a registered dealer in Udupi. Now let us see computation of transaction value for computation of GST. Purchase from local markets inclusive of GST, see 1,47,000 minus GST, you will get the remaining value 1,40,000. Goods purchased from a unit of special economic zone in Bangalore excluding BCD, yes, 1 lakh. To that you have to add BCD so that you will get the price along with inclusive of BCD. So that's what we need. So 1,10,000. Raw materials purchased from unregistered dealer in Mysore, so 20,000. Materials purchased from special economic zone in Mangalore inclusive of GST. Yes, inclusive of GST, so that should be excluded. Therefore, 2,10,000 into 5 by 105. That means 100 plus 5. So 105. 105 is equal to 2,10,000. 5 means what? So this way you have to calculate. So that comes to 2 lakh after deduction. Materials purchased within the state from a registered dealer who opted for composition scheme under GST, 3 lakh. Materials purchased from Japan including BCD but excluding GST, so 1 lakh. To that you have to add manufacturing expenses, so 1 lakh. What you get is cost of goods sold. Cost of production of goods. So 9,70,000. To that you have to add profit. In earlier problems, percentage is given, but here they have given the value. Straight away add the value. So as a result, the transaction value or value of supply is 10 lakh. So the value of 10 lakh, it is being sold to different parties. For example, 20% is sold to unit of economic oriented unit. Export oriented unit in Bangalore, and that is considered to be deemed export. You are selling it in Bangalore only, but then it is taken as a deemed export. Yes, export oriented unit, so that is why it is considered to be export. Therefore, on 10 lakh at the rate of 20%, so it is 2 lakh. But export oriented, if you supply the goods to a unit of export oriented unit, that's not going to be taxed. So it is zero rated supply, therefore nil taxes here. 30% sold to unregistered dealer of New Delhi, so it is interstate supply. 30% of 10 lakh is 3,000. On 3,000, 18% you will get IGST of 54,000. Sold goods to registered dealer of Mangalore intrastate. Alright, so 20% is 2 lakh on that. Yes, Mangalore, so it is within Karnataka, intrastate, and therefore CGST and SGST at the rate of 9%. 18% is divided into two parts. And then balance, so 20, 30, 50, 50 plus 20, 70. So balance is 30%. It is sold to registered dealer of Udupi. So 30% of 10 lakh comes to 3 lakh. On 3 lakh at the rate of 9% each intrastate. Therefore 27,000 each. Totally output tax in the case of CGST is 45,000, SGST 45,000, and IGST 54,000. Now look at the input tax credit computation. Purchase from local markets at 5%, on 1 lakh at the rate of 2.5% each, 3,500, 3,500, and nil. IGST is not applicable here. Purchase from special economic zone in Bangalore, so that is deemed to be import, and therefore IGST is applicable. So on 1,10,000 at the rate of 12%, you get 13,200. Purchase from unregistered dealer, I told you this is called reverse charge, and in the case of supply from unregistered dealer to a dealer, then the responsibility of paying the tax lies with the buyer and not on the seller or not on the supplier. So here input tax credit in such cases is not available, so it is not taken here. Purchase from special economic zone unit in Mangalore, so this is considered to be deemed import, and therefore IGST is applicable. Not even though it is from Mangalore, it is not considered to be intrastate supply, so IGST is applicable here. This is an important point to be noted. Even here, yes, here 13,200 actually supplied to a special economic zone in Bangalore, but still that is taken as yes, deemed to be import, and therefore IGST is applicable. Purchase from dealer registered a composition scheme, so this is not taxable because he will not collect any tax from you. He will not collect any tax from you, and therefore that is not taxable. So input tax credit is not available here because he is not going to supply you, provide you any invoice, and therefore he will not collect any taxes, and therefore it is exempt. Purchase from Japan, it's import, IGST 28,000. So if you look at the input tax, 3,500, and 51,200. Now let us see the net GST payable. Output taxes are 45,000. Look here, 45,000, 45,000, 54,000. Okay, 54,000. Now you compare this 54. First you have to take IGST. Compare that with input tax. So 51,200 is the input tax. So input tax credit is lesser than output tax. So you deduct it, you utilize it. So the remaining amount is 2,800. Okay. Now look at CGST. First you have to exhaust the input tax credit of IGST. That is done. Now we look for CGST. 45,000 is the output tax. Input tax is a meager amount of 3,500. So balance is 41,500. Then 45,000 output tax of SGST and input tax is just 3,500. So the balance of output tax is 41,500 in case of SGST. I told you there is purchase of goods from unregistered dealer, and this is called reverse charge mechanism. So in this case the seller or supplier is not responsible for paying the taxes, GST I mean, whereas it is the buyer who is liable or responsible for paying the taxes on such purchases. Normally it is the buyer who has to pay the taxes, seller has to collect. But here the buyer is responsible to the payment of output taxes, and therefore yes, that is added here. This cannot be included in input tax electronic credit ledger. Rather that should be paid in cash only. So that is why it is not adjusted here. So this is added here. So totally 43,300 CGST and 43,300 SGST and 2,800 IGST. I told you 1,800 that should be paid in cash, and that cannot be included in input tax credit, electronic credit ledger. That is applicable only in the case of input tax credit. In other cases, and even this should be paid in cash. But anyway, total GST payable is 1,800 plus 41,500, 43,300. Here also same thing. Here 2,800. That's all. Now look at the notes. Goods purchased from special economic zone are considered as goods imported from outside India, though that is from the same state, that is considered to be deemed import, and IGST is applicable here. Transaction value for the purpose of input tax credit includes BCD, price including BCD but excluding GST. Goods purchased from unregistered dealer, so that is nothing but GST on reverse charge basis, reverse charge transaction we call that, are liable to pay tax on reverse charge basis, okay. It's not the supplier who is liable to pay the tax, but it is the buyer who is liable to pay the taxes. Input tax credit cannot be utilized for payment of output tax under reverse charge mechanism. Input tax credit cannot be utilized for the payment of output tax under reverse charge mechanism, because this has to be paid in cash only. It has to be payable through electronic cash ledger only. So that is why it cannot be set off. Tax paid under RCM basis, that is reverse charge mechanism basis, is available as input tax credit in the next month. This month it is not available under input tax credit, but next month it is available. Hence it should not be considered while calculating the total input tax credit available. Now we'll take up the next problem here. Jagdish, a registered dealer in Karnataka, submits the following information for the month of January 2019. Compute the net GST payable. So in this case, purchase of all raw materials have been given, details of sales have been given, So no need of computing transaction value. Straight away you can go for computation of output tax payable. Let us see first the output tax. Sold goods to a registered dealer of Hyderabad. 12,50,000 should be taken. That is, Jagdish, a registered dealer in Karnataka, whereas here sold goods to a registered dealer of Hyderabad. So interstate sale. This is in a different state. Therefore, interstate transaction. Okay. IGST is applicable. 12% IGST. Goods sold to a dealer of Mangalore registered under composition scheme. Okay, if you purchase from a registered dealer under composition scheme, there is a problem. You are not entitled to input tax credit. But here it is not like that. It is supplied, so you can collect the taxes. So from Mangalore, intrastate transaction. So 12% is divided into 6% each, CGST and SGST. Sold goods in local market, 30 lakh, 9% each, intra-state transaction. Sold goods to Lakshadweep, this is not in Karnataka, and that is inter-state transaction, and therefore IGST is applicable here. Sold goods to a dealer in France, it is a different country, and it is export. Export is considered to be zero rated transaction. Then sold goods to a unit of special economic zone in Gujarat, 25 lakh. That is also considered to be a zero rated supply. Sold goods to an unregistered dealer in Pune. Again here, if you purchase the goods from unregistered dealer, that's the problem. But here no problem. You have supplied, and therefore interstate transaction, you have to calculate the taxes. Look at the input tax credits. I mean, on inward supply of goods. Materials purchased from Bihar. Bihar is another state, therefore interstate. So IGST 5%. Raw material X purchased from Mangalore, intrastate. So 6% each. Raw material Y purchased from Bangalore, intrastate. So 5% is divided into 2.5, 2.5. Materials purchased in local market, intrastate, again 9% each on 3 lakh. Material A purchased from a unit of export oriented unit, and including BCD at 10% and IGST. So IGST must be excluded, and from 28,000 you have to exclude IGST, that is 28,000 into 10 by 110, that should be deducted. Remaining amount has to be taken. Raw material R purchased from UK, this is import of goods, including BCD and IGST. So BCD should be included necessarily, IGST should be excluded. So 12,98,000 into 12 by 118, 18 by 118. Raw materials purchased from a dealer opted for composition scheme. Okay, here input tax credit is not available because the dealer has opted for composition scheme. Material B purchased from Hyderabad, interstate transaction, IGST. Material S purchased from unregistered dealer. Okay, this is unregistered dealer within the state, so intrastate 2.5 each. Semi-finished goods obtained from another manufacturer from Mysore, so that is also intrastate transaction. Look at the computation of output tax. Sold goods to registered dealer of Hyderabad, IGST. Goods sold to a dealer of Mangalore, registered under composition scheme. Okay, intrastate, so 6% each. Sold goods to a local market, sold goods in a local market, intrastate, so 9% each, 2,70,000. 28 lakh into 28% sold goods to Lakshadweep, interstate, so IGST of 7,84,000. Sold goods to a dealer in France, export. So in the case of export, it is zero rate which is applicable, so no tax. Sold goods to a unit of special economic zone in Gujarat, deemed export, zero rated transaction or supply, so no tax. Sold to an unregistered dealer of Pune, interstate, therefore IGST at the rate of 18% on 12 lakh, and therefore 2,16,000. So these are yes, these are called output taxes. So 4,50,000 CGST, 4,50,000 SGST, and 11,50,000 IGST. Now look at the computation of input tax credit. Material supplied from Bihar. So interstate 5% is applied, IGST. Raw materials X purchased from Mangalore. Therefore it is intrastate, 6% each, no IGST. Raw materials Y purchased from Bangalore, intrastate, so no IGST, so 5% is divided into 2.5 and 2.5. Materials purchased from local market, intrastate, so 9% each, no IGST. Materials A purchased from a unit of export oriented unit, deemed import, and therefore 28 lakh into 28 by 128, because it is inclusive of GST. As a result, the value is 6,12,500. Raw material R purchased from UK, it is import, IGST 1,98,000, but it is inclusive of GST, therefore 18 by 118. Then raw materials purchased from a dealer opted from composition scheme. For this, no ITC is available because the supplier, he will not collect any taxes from us, nor he will avail ITC. That is composition scheme. Since he is not collecting any tax from us, the question of availing input tax credit does not arise in our case, so nil. Material B purchased from Hyderabad, interstate, 12% on that. Material S purchased from unregistered dealer, this is considered to be reverse charge transaction, a supply, so ITC is not available here, so nil. Semi-finished goods obtained from another manufacturer of Mysore, intrastate, so 45,000 at the rate of 9% each on 5 lakh. So this is about input tax. So output tax is 4,50,000, 4,50,000 and 11,50,000. See here, 4,50,000, 4,50,000 and 11,50,000. It is written here 4,50,000, 4,50,000, 11,50,000. This should be compared first with input tax liability of IGST, so 8,84,000. So use it here. So input tax credit is utilized towards payment of IGST. So there is no surplus. Till 2,65,000 IGST is payable. Then take, so we have fully exhausted the ITC of IGST. Then we can come to CGST 4,50,000. Against that, input tax credit is 1,64,000. So remaining value is 2,86,000. And in the GST also, the fact remaining the same, 2,86,000 is the remaining value. But here you have to add the output tax payable on the basis of goods purchased from unregistered dealer. So that is nothing but reverse charge mechanism. So here, since it is within the state, so 2.5% each on 3,07,500, 7,500, and therefore 2,93,500 is the net GST payable in the case of CGST, 2,93,500 in the case of SGST, and 2,65,000 in the case of IGST. Some notes. Goods purchased from special economic zone or export oriented unit are considered as goods imported from outside India deemed to be import. Okay, transaction value for the purpose of input tax credit should include BCD and not and excluding GST. BCD should be included not only for transaction value but even for computing output tax and also input tax, but GST should be excluded. On the remaining value you have to calculate the taxes. GST. Goods purchased from a dealer registered under a composition scheme are not eligible for ITC. As I already told you, a dealer who opted for composition scheme does not collect any output tax, and similarly he will not avail input tax. He will pay taxes at a standard rate like 5% or 1% like that, and therefore for us input tax credit is not available here. Goods purchased from unregistered dealer are liable to pay taxes on reverse charge mechanism basis. Input tax credit cannot be utilized for payment of tax which is payable under RCM basis, reverse charge mechanism basis. It has to be payable through electronic cash ledger, so it cannot be recorded in electronic credit ledger. This has to be paid in cash only, and therefore that is entered in electronic cash ledger. Thank you.